accordance with Chapter 231 of the Open Public Meetings Act, adequate and proper notice of this meeting has been given to the public by publishing a notice in the Glen Ridge paper, Glen Ridge Voice, Montclair Times, and the Star Ledger, and posting said notice on the bulletin board in the municipal building. The agenda and public handouts for this meeting can be viewed online at www.glenridgenj.org. A public comment period will be held as listed on the agenda. Please state your name for the record and note that comments will be limited to 3 minutes per person. Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Yes, Madam Mayor. Councilors Lefkowitz?
Here.
Hughes?
Here.
Moody?
Here.
Law?
Here.
Meyer? Morrow? Here. Mayor Mans is present. Madam Mayor, you have a quorum.
Thanks so much. We are going to move over the approval of minutes and catch up with that at the next meeting. Madam Clerk, any written communications?
None this evening, Madam.
Okay, thanks. I do not have any comments for the mayor, except I do want to note we are going to move right into the Glen Ridge Police Department accreditation presentation. We have a guest here. It shouldn't take that long, so I appreciate that. And then we'll move into the comments of the public. So, Chief, I will turn it over to you.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. I'd like to begin by offering a warm welcome to Harry Delgado. He is the Accreditation Program Director for the New Jersey State Association of Chiefs of Police. We are grateful for his invaluable guidance and support throughout this process and for being here tonight to present our official accreditation certificate. When I became Chief in 2021, one of my first objectives was to successfully complete the requirements to receive our initial accreditation, which we did and became accredited in October of that year. Since then, our department has worked diligently to not only uphold the required standards, but also consistently improve our training and policies to adapt to the evolving needs of society. Achieving accreditation is a significant professional milestone for our department. It demonstrates that the Glen Ridge Police Department has met the high standards established by the New Jersey State Association of Chiefs of Police, an organization who has been designated as an independent credentialing body recognized by the U.S. Department of Justice. To attain accreditation, we overhauled our policies and procedures to ensure they reflect best practices and the highest professional standards in law enforcement. Once employed, we were required to show proofs of compliance in the form of approximately 112 standards. After a comprehensive review by a team of assessors and a hearing before the Accreditation Commission, the Commission unanimously approved our department as an accredited law enforcement agency. Harry, would you like to join me there?
Mayor, Council, and I apologize beforehand for giving you my badge for the citizens that they so proudly serve. Chief was too kind. I came here to recognize him and the police department, but certainly will appreciate it. Just the context of what I'm about to share with you is, from all the law enforcement agencies in the state of New Jersey that would be eligible to apply for accreditation, about half of those have been able to make it once because the process is so rigorous. Now, that's about 54% to be exact. Those that make it actually twice, meaning have another cycle of reaccreditation, that drops to 32%. So that's the elite group that this police department belongs to. So they should be proud because that is a remarkable accomplishment. If you indulge me for a couple of minutes, I'd like to share with you and for the public the significance of the achievement. So the Glen Ridge Police Department has once again made a commitment to adhering to best practices at the state and national level in a highly regarded statewide law enforcement accreditation program. This evening, they're recognized for achieving reaccreditation. This program, administered through the New Jersey State Association of Chiefs of Police and the New Jersey Law Enforcement Accreditation Commission, has helped to transparently demonstrate the professionalism, transparency, and preparedness of state's law enforcement agencies in the state's public safety system. During these uniquely challenging times and the threat to our health and safety, encouraging law enforcement agencies to follow standardized practices and policies is potentially life-saving and cost-effective investment of time and resources. Accreditation gives an agency a preparedness plan and verification of excellence. Accreditation status represents a significant professional achievement. Now, I should say that the Glen Ridge Police Department received this prestigious reaccredited status, demonstrating Chief Queen's firm commitment to remain on track with state and national standards and the continued expectations for quality, professional, and ethical policing. Chief made reference to 112 standards, which is what is required in the state of New Jersey to become accredited. But he didn't say that to adhere to those 112 standards, you need over 450 proofs of compliance. So So it's a very rigorous process. So accreditation is a process. Foundation lies in the adoption of standards containing a clear statement of professional objectives. It is a progressive and time-proven way of helping law enforcement agencies calculate and improve their overall performance. It is a certification by independent reviewing authority that the accredited agency was carefully measured against an established set of state and national standards. These are best practices that have actually been tested against national standards. And in the case of the Glen Police Department, in many instances exceeded accepted practices in the field of law enforcement. So accreditation provides objective evidence of an agency's commitment to excellence in leadership, resource management, and service delivery. Government officials can be more confident in the agency's ability to operate efficiently and meet community needs, and officers in accredited agencies can take pride that they have been objectively measured against for professionalism and adherence to the highest standards. I'm going quickly over this. I just simply want to paraphrase some of what was said in the report, and we'll conclude with that. Under the leadership of Chief Quinn, a high level of competence, leadership, and professionalism is evident within the agency. The Glen Ridge Police Department strives to provide the best possible services attainable. Amongst their priorities, maintaining New Jersey State Association of Chiefs of Police accredited status, proceed with adhering to the tenets of outlined in ABLE and ICAT, seeking out grant opportunities to finance innovative police strategies, managing increased technology demands, including enhanced software and network security, and continuing community outreach programs. Quite remarkable that they're so vested in the community that they serve. So it is the opinion of the assessment team that the Glen Ridge Police Department is a highly professional and committed agency which exemplifies all of the tenets of law enforcement accreditation at the state and national level. So it is indeed my pleasure and privilege here tonight on behalf of the New Jersey State Association of Chiefs of Police and the New Jersey Law Enforcement Accreditation Commission to congratulate Chief Sean Quinn, Accreditation Manager Lieutenant Dean Nardellis, the members of the Glen Ridge Police Department, the mayor, council, and those citizens that they so proudly serve for achieving re-accreditation, joining a very exclusive group of law enforcement agencies in the state of New Jersey that have made this commitment to excellence in policing. So to all indeed, congratulations.
Dean is the accreditation manager. We go by name. I was invited up.
All right, good. How are you? Right here. He took it. That's my stuff. Good job.
Thank you. Good work.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Do you have a speech?
Yeah, right now, just some, So I just also wanted to express my heartfelt thanks to Mayor Debbie Mans, the members of the Borough Council, Borough Administrator Mike Kelly, the Police Commissioner Peter Hughes, for their unwavering support throughout this challenging but rewarding process. We couldn't have done it without your help and support. Special thanks goes out to the dedicated members of the Glen Ridge Police Department, particularly our accreditation manager, Lieutenant Nardellis, who has been living this life for 3 years. While we are proud of this accomplishment, we understand that it is just the beginning. Accreditation is an ongoing process, and we will continue to strive for excellence. We have embraced a culture of accountability and remain steadfast in our commitment to providing the highest level of service to our community. Thank you all for your support.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you again. Chief will be joining us for the rest of the meeting. Okay, so we'll open it up for comments of the public. Please try to limit your comments to 3 minutes. Thank you. And please come up, state your name and address for the record.
I'm Punita Gupta, residing at 375 Forest Avenue. Good evening, everyone. Thank you for this opportunity to speak. First and foremost, I would like to respectfully thank Mayor Mans, all council members, Mike Zakelli, and Eric Deline for your continued patience and engagement on this matter, specifically the tree removal at GRCC and variance request. We have confidence that you will ultimately protect and preserve the residents' best interest. That is also we, as residents and your constituents, are banking on. Since hearing about the tree permit approval on Friday, all of us have been quite distressed. For one, the trees could be cut any day, so every sound of a truck or a power tool raises our anxiety. And secondly, that the club was granted this permit by the town, which initially felt a bit shocking and a bit of a betrayal, which is why we have been trying so hard to influence this outcome through many different approaches. But we have since understood that obtaining the tree permit is a fairly mechanical process, one in which if the application is filled correctly, it is deemed approved. And the town could not have influenced this outcome of the permit solely based on the established law. However, we do want to highlight a few things. 24 of the trees that are marked for removal are, by the club arborist's assessment, healthy, and 5 of them are between 140 to 200 years old. That's far greater than any human's lifespan. It's even greater than our borough's age, which was established in 1895. All trees, but even more so old trees, hold us in awe and wonder at their majestic beauty and life-giving force. Whether the current law allows it or not, each of us, the residents, the town elected representatives, and even the club, hold a moral obligation to do everything in our individual and collective power to protect these trees, especially when there appear to be multiple other options to accommodate new construction footprint without harming them. Simply saying that we cannot do anything just because the application is within the current rules is not enough. Surely there can be an effective dialogue between the council members and club such that majority of the trees be spared while considering their new expansion or improvement plan. If the town convenes such a dialogue, we will be happy to participate in constructive good faith. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you so much for your comments. I'm taking a note about the convening, and we'll keep you posted if that's an option. Thank you. Do you have any other comments? Yeah.
My name is Radhika Parikh and I reside at 372 Forest Avenue. I would like to begin by expressing my gratitude for your patience as we familiarize ourselves with the laws and processes associated with the recently enacted shade tree ordinance, specifically related to the tree removal and the Glen Country Club variance request. We greatly appreciate the thoughtful responses and clarity that you've provided to us thus far. We now fully understand that the tree permit represents a procedural requirement to be followed rather than a mandate to be enforced. At this stage, our sincere request is for the Glen Country Club to refrain from removing the trees until the revised plans have been submitted and approved by the board. This consideration is critical as the revised plans may ultimately render the removal of the trees unnecessary. Many of the 24 beautiful, decades-old trees still serve as an essential privacy and noise buffer for our home, which is located adjacent to the country club. For this reason, they remain personally significant to my household. Thank you again for allowing me the opportunity to speak today.
Thank you for your
Thank you.
comments. Thank you. Do we have any other members of the public? We are going to do the leaf blower ordinance. We will have an open comment period on that ordinance, but you are welcome to speak now, too. Yeah.
Hey y'all, I'm Eric Matisoff. I live at 386 Forest Avenue. And I wanted to talk about 2 topics now, and then one later apparently. So the first topic was a topic that came up at the last town council meeting that was the first I'd heard of it, which was about some stop sign consideration at the corner of Sunset and Forest Avenue. And I don't live there. I walk by there with my second grader kindergartner and 1.5-year-old multiple times per year, and I counted it'll be a total of 8 years that I'll be going through that intersection. And that's a lot of safety that we can provide with a stop sign and some speed bumps maybe if they don't blink to make the homeowners happier. I think that's totally cool. And I guarantee that adds a lot more safety than a few speeding tickets, personally. Actually, that's not a guarantee. And then finally, I just wanted to extend my thoughts on the Glen Ridge Country Club tree decimation. It sounds like, and I don't know all of what's going on, but it sounds like they're already in violation as they're 75 feet from the nearest home, and they're supposed to be 100 according to ordinance. I feel like the country club should have to follow the rules just like the rest of us. They're already kind of scaring dogs every year on July 4th, but the advantage is we get to watch some free fireworks, right? So it kind of balances out. But we miss out on that opportunity as neighbors. I live, I think, 7 or 9 houses away from the country club, and I'm not a member, but I get to hear a lot of what's going on with parties and things like that, and I can only imagine what them coming 75 or 80 feet closer to my home and my neighbors' homes would affect that. So thank you. Chat soon.
All right, thanks. Any other members of the public for the open public comment period?
Hi, Phil Johnson, 55 Chestnut Place.
You've been here before, you knew what to do with the mic.
For the record. The question with regards to ordinance 1811, which was approved recently, establishing chapter 1229 about the removal of trees on private property.
Yep.
As I understand it, trees that are removed in Glen Ridge need to be replaced by trees in Glen Ridge, or can trees be planted in other municipalities, which is what I understand the country club is proposing to do, is remove trees in Glen Ridge and replace them in Bloomfield.
Yeah, that just was flagged for us, and our expectation is those trees will be planted in Glen Ridge.
Okay, thank you.
Anyone else? Okay, we'll have another open public comment period at the end as well. All right, with that, let me just get us back on track here. CDBG hearing. So this is some financings that is coming in. So actually, it's the first time I have to do this. Suspend the regular order. Yes, Mike, I'm looking at you.
Yep, so this is the first of 2 public hearings for the Community Development Block Grant applications. Community Development Block Grants are federal funds that are used to make infrastructure improvements in low, moderate income neighborhoods as per census tract. Glen Ridge does not have we are just one big census tract. We do not income qualify for any projects to be funded, infrastructure projects to be funded using this money. However, it is also used to eliminate barriers for those with disabilities. In the past, we have used it, for example, on infrastructure projects. Whenever we touch a road, the aprons, the corner ADA ramps have to be replaced to the most current specifications. We've been using the funds for that. As of this point, this is our first of 2 public hearings for this. We have no applications to present at this time. The borough usually receives about $40,000 towards these projects. And we'll be back at the next council meeting, December 9th? Yeah, December 9th, to make the borough's presentation.
Okay.
That concludes our hearing at this point, Mayor.
All right, thanks, Mike. All right, with that, Councilor Lefkowitz, Finance and Administration Committee.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. This evening, I have a resolution and 3 ordinances. So I begin with Resolution 144-24. This is where we pay our bills, which include pass-throughs to the Board of Education and Essex County, as well as smaller ordinary operating expenses, which are listed in the resolution. So, Madam Mayor, I move Resolution 144-24.
You've heard the motion by Counselor Lefkowitz. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
You've heard the motion by Counselor Lefkowitz, seconded by Counselor Hughes. Any discussion on this resolution? Seeing none, Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Yes, Madam Mayor. Councilors Lefkowitz,
Aye.
Hughes,
Aye.
Moody,
Aye.
Law,
Aye.
Morrow,
Aye.
5 ayes, no nays, the motion carries.
Thank you.
And next, Madam Mayor, I have ordinance 1815, an ordinance entitled Bond Ordinance Providing for Water Main Replacement around Carteret Street in and by the Borough of Glen Ridge in the County of Essex, New Jersey, appropriating $2.2 million therefore, and authorizing the issuance of $2.2 million bonds or notes of the borough to finance part of the cost thereof.
This is to state for the record that this ordinance has been published and posted in accordance with the statutes.
So this is the final reading of the ordinance. I declare this meeting open for discussion of this ordinance and this ordinance only, this being the time and place for our public hearing. If you have comments on ordinance 1815, please come up. Seeing no comments, I declare this public hearing closed.
Madam Mayor, I move that this ordinance be adopted.
May I have a second?
I'll second.
You've heard the motion by Counselor Lefkowitz, seconded by Counselor Law. Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Yes, Madam Mayor. Councilors Lefkowitz,
Aye.
Hughes,
Aye.
Moody,
Aye.
Law,
Aye.
Morrow,
Aye.
5 ayes, no nays, this ordinance is adopted.
Thank you.
And next, Madam Mayor, I 17, an ordinance to establish a new chapter in the Code of the Borough of Glen Ridge, Chapter 9.9, entitled Restricted Areas in Buildings Where Municipal Operations Are Conducted, limited to authorized employees only, to protect and safeguard public records containing personally identifiable information. Madam Mayor, I move the ordinance.
Do I hear a second?
I'll second.
Thank you, Counselor Moody. Is there any discussion amongst the members of the council on this ordinance?
So it's an ordinance essentially to address the issue of how far can the public go in filming and recording what happens in borough properties, what and where. So establishing some boundaries.
Within the rights afforded by the First Amendment. So it's really
Exactly.
about, yeah, perfect. Seeing no further comments forthcoming, Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Yes, Madam Mayor. Councilors Lefkowitz,
Aye.
Hughes,
Aye.
Moody,
Aye.
Law,
Aye.
Morrow,
Aye.
5 ayes, no nays, this ordinance is passed on first reading.
I refer ordinance 1817 to the municipal clerk for the purpose of statutory publication and posting.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
And lastly, Madam Mayor, I have ordinance 1818 entitled an ordinance establishing titles for non-union and other employees of the Borough of Glen Ridge and fixing the 2025 maximum annual salaries and other compensations for those titles. And this is for first reading.
May I hear a second on this?
I'll give you a second.
Thank you, Counselor Hughes. Is there any discussion amongst the members of the council on the ordinance? Seeing no comments, Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Yes, Madam Mayor. Councilors Lefkowitz,
Aye.
Hughes,
Aye.
Moody,
Aye.
Law,
Aye.
Morrow,
Aye.
5 ayes, no nays, this ordinance is passed on first reading.
I refer ordinance 1818 to the municipal clerk for the purpose of statutory publication and posting.
Yes, Madam Mayor.
Thank you so much.
And Madam Mayor, that's all for me.
All right, Counselor Hughes.
Mayor, I have a resolution and an ordinance tonight, but I'd also like to just thank, again, I congratulate the chief on the job well done on the recognition by the state's chief of police organization. Really, I think that was your #1 thing to do when you first came on as chief. And so congratulations, job well done. And Mayor, I have first a resolution for a game of chance. Be it resolved that in accordance with the statute, the mayor and council approve the raffle license application for an on-premise merchandise raffle submitted by the Glen Ridge PBA to be held on December 15th at 226 Ridgewood Avenue. Mayor, I move the resolution.
Heard the motion by Counselor Hughes. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Heard the motion by Counselor Hughes, seconded by Counselor Lefkowitz. Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Yes, Madam Mayor. Councilors Lefkowitz,
Aye.
Hughes,
Aye.
Moody,
Aye.
Law,
Aye.
Morrow. Aye. 5 ayes, no nays, the motion carries.
And Mayor, next I have an ordinance that will set the rate and authorize the outside employment of Glen Ridge Police Department officers for, construction-like projects and other roadway-type projects within the borough. So I have ordinance number 1819, an ordinance entitled Establishing Policies for Outside Employment of the Borough of Glen Ridge Police While Off Duty. Mayor, I move the resolution.
May I have a second?
I'll second.
Is there any discussion amongst the members of the council on this ordinance? Seeing none, Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Yes, Madam Mayor. Councilors Lefkowitz,
Aye.
Hughes,
Aye.
Moody, Law,
Aye.
Morrow. Aye. 5 ayes, no nays, this ordinance is passed on first reading.
I refer ordinance 1819 to the municipal clerk for the purpose of statutory publication and posting.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. Anything else, Counselor Hughes?
That's all I have.
Thank you. Counselor Moody, Community Affairs and Public Relations.
In the Community Affairs and Public Relations report, first I just want to highlight 2 upcoming community events. This Thursday, a proud tradition, the Ashenfelter 8K will be running through town. Make sure that you get your cranberry sauce before all the roads shut down, because you will not be cutting across. And then on Sunday, December 18th, we are officially in the holiday season, and the annual Borough Holiday Tree-Light will take place.
8th.
December 8th.
What did I say?
18.
18th. I was like,
Don't come on the
You're
18th.
I
so
see.
bad information.
Don't be a Grinch. Take away our holiday.
Sorry about that. Now on to more serious matters. Madam Mayor, I do have an ordinance tonight. I have ordinance number 1816, leaf blower ordinance for final reading.
This is to state for the record that this ordinance has been published and posted in accordance with the statutes.
I declare this meeting open for discussion of this ordinance and this ordinance only, this being the time and place for public hearing. Please come to the mic, state your name and address if you'd like to speak on this ordinance. Good Zoom tight.
This ordinance is nothing to sneeze at.
Phil Johnson, just grateful for the council's work on this and Environmental Advisory Committee. It's been a long road and appreciate your deliberate consideration and debate on this topic. It's a great first step that the council is proposing to take tonight and encourage its adoption. So thank you.
Thank you. Any other comments?
Microphone is much higher this time.
Thanks to Mr. Johnson.
My name is Eric Matisoff. I live at 386 Forest Avenue still. I'm excited for the second reading, and I've spoken a lot about it, so you know my thoughts. I'm also excited to hear how the changes will be communicated to the borough, and how violations will be received. And also, if it passes, I'll buy the first round of beers at Fitzgerald's tonight. I'm not joking.
I don't think we could accept those, but yeah, we appreciate the thought. Any further comments?
Kind of. Yeah, like a question about communication to the borough
Oh,
and how communication back to based on restriction or based on
Yeah, there is a compliance component in the ordinance itself. I don't know if Counselor Moody, you kind of shepherded this through. Did you want to speak to anything?
Oh, I'll just say that we were really careful about that. It will run through the Glen Ridge Police Department for enforcement. And, you know, if someone is in violation, they do have the opportunity to just pay the fine. They don't actually have to appear in court unless they're appealing. And in terms of communication to the borough, that is something that we're just beginning to discuss. We know that there's going to need to be a lot of, and we also know how hard that is in an environment where there's not a lot of real local journalism anymore. So we're going to work on how we can get that message out, both by e-blast, social media, coordinating with the Environmental Advisory Commission. And whether or not, I don't wish to speak for the borough, but it has been discussed whether we send a postcard or something, just to ensure that everybody in the borough is aware of it. We don't want to pass something and have people not aware.
I think it'll have to be a multi-faceted effort.
Right, that's what we're discussing is
Text,
multiple touches.
nixle, I don't know, corner sign, because the violations do go to the resident as well as to the operator.
Right.
So there, yeah, I'm sure we'll make sure there's a lot of communication.
Yeah, and the ordinance is effective January 1, 2025, so I just want to note that. So we knew we had some ramp-up time for that. Okay. Any other comments?
I just feel like I should go on record.
Of course.
Amanda McCabe, 205 Baldwin Street, and as the chair of the Environmental Committee, I would like to offer our effort. We'll be happy to help with the effort with communication, make sure this goes as smoothly as possible. I think the borough, it'll take it'll be a transition, but I think ultimately it'll be a positive benefit to everybody.
Yeah, thank you for all your personal
Thank you.
time on this,
Thank you.
Amanda.
Thank you.
And I want to just add a note that having this go through the non-emergency line of the police department is in keeping with what some other towns do, and in particular, that is how Morristown's ordinance. So we have been looking at other models and trying to right-size this for our own administrative structures.
Holly Murphy, 20 Hillcrest Road. Just want to be here in support of this. I've spoken on it before, so I won't say anything further.
Thanks. Any other comments? I will recognize Megan. I'll take a point of reference to thank you for all the work on this too, and I'm glad to see you here tonight. Okay, oh my gosh, where were we? Okay, you're up.
Oh, so with no further comments, that's you.
Yeah,
Madam
I
Mayor,
declared a public
move
meeting
this-
closed, yes, thank you.
Yes. Madam Mayor, I move that this ordinance be adopted.
May I have a second?
May I second?
You may. You've heard the motion of Councilor Moody, seconded by Councilor Morrow. Madam Clerk, please call the roll and include me.
Yes, Madam
Thank
Mayor. Councilors Lefkowitz,
Aye.
Hughes,
Aye.
Moody,
Aye.
Law,
Aye.
Morrow. Aye. Madam Mayor.
Aye.
Madam Mayor Mans.
Thank you.
6 ayes, no nays, this ordinance is adopted.
Councilor Moody, anything else?
No other business for me, Madam Mayor, thank you.
Councilor Law, Public Works and Utility Committee?
Yes, I'd just like to congratulate the chief and his team on the accomplishment of the accreditation. So, job well done. And also wanted to thank in advance our Public Works Department as well as all the other borough employees that are going to be involved in the Ashenfelter. It's a commitment of time during a holiday, and we should all recognize the time that they put forth. You know, it is kind of away from their family, so thank you to all involved. That's it.
Councilor Meyer is not here tonight. Councilor Morrow, Planning and Redevelopment, Development Committee?
Yes, I have nothing formal, but again, I would just like to thank members of the Environmental Advisory Committee, and that includes both of you and your former roles in that committee. This has been going on for quite some time, and I really appreciate your dedication and the professionalism with which you kept everyone informed. So kudos and much appreciation.
Here, here.
And again, thanks to Chief, thanks to Lieutenant Nardellis. I know in addition to your regular jobs, you had an awful lot of documentation and follow-up, and so it was really an inordinate amount of time that went into the reaccreditation, so congratulations, and happy Thanksgiving. Good luck to the runners, rain or shine. Good luck to you, Mike. Good luck to you, Chief, people, rain or shine, and to Public Works.
Exactly. All right, Mike, do you have any comments?
So just a few, Mayor. I'd like to again congratulate the chief on everybody. Anybody that's gone through this process or familiar with it, every time you think you're almost there, you bump into something else. And, you know, either it's physical improvements or security or processes that we just, it's just a continually moving puzzle. I really commend the police for just sticking with it and problem solving throughout this entire process. And really congratulations on it. Not an easy feat. Again, the 8K is on Thanksgiving morning. Many of you live in town know about that. I just want to be aware of that. The gas lamp players will be in front on December 8th for our holiday lighting, and May 8th at 4:30. And then December 20th, this started during COVID, is the Santa Parade. If you remember, we drive around town. That became an immediate fan favorite. And as a municipal employee, we like for everybody to see us as folks that are part of the community with our families. You'll see our police department with their kids in their vehicles throwing candy out the window. The first year, our CFO had his son in the vehicle, and he was so excited, he threw candy across his father's face against the closed window, and it all bounced back. So us as participants, as borough employees, love it, and we love to see the crowd response to that. So we'll be out there on the map, and those we posted as those come. And finally, just for members of the public, this is the nicest town I've ever worked with. Between last meeting and this meeting, coming forward with your request and working with me personally, it's a lot of information, but everybody is just, you're so kind, and I know you're upset, you don't care for what's going on, but really the way you work with us and communicate with us, I cannot tell you how much Tara, myself, all of us appreciate the level of decorum everybody holds. It really, as frustrating, as hard as this job can be at times, it's not dealing with our residents. It's a lot of other things we deal with that is becoming quite frustrating. So I just want to thank everybody. The way you interface and communicate with us really is tremendous. And I just want to thank everybody. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you. John?
Mayor, I have no report.
Okay. Madam Clerk?
Madam Mayor, I have no report.
You want to second another bouquet?
I'll get back.
Yeah.
I have no report. I was going to talk about the Ashenfelter, but it's overdone, so.
Right, who's running in the Ashenfelter?
You're running? No.
So, the only other thing is you'll see a new Santa sleigh out there. We have resident elves constructing a new one as we speak. The other one was destroyed by a storm, so there's a new addition, I guess, hopefully.
It will be done.
Hopefully.
It will be done. Those elves are working overtime. Nobody worry about that. We have no new or unfinished business, correct, Madam Clerk?
That is correct,
Thank
Madam
you.
Mayor.
And this is the last public comment period. Any further comments from the public? Yes?
Madam Mayor, I'm sorry, I neglected to mention one thing,
Oh, yeah?
which was just to mention in public
Oh,
that
yeah.
Moody's is renewing our AAA rating, which we just got a year ago, so it's no flash in the pan.
That's right. Thank you, David. Okay, seeing none, Counselor Meyer isn't here, so Counselor Moody, do you have a motion for us?
Yes, I'd like to make a motion to adjourn.
Great. Adjourned.